Hey everyone, it's me, your resident PokeTuber Lockstin. Wait, that's not right, is it? Or is it? I don't know anymore. I gotta do some non-Pokemon content. I know. Let's use my vast storage of knowledge about Pokemon to list the fighters of Smash Bros. Ultimate in Pokemon types. I mean, have you ever wondered what type each fighter would be? And hey, what if they added that neato Pokemon Trainer feature of having weaknesses and strengths relative to their types that Pokemon Trainer had in Brawl? I mean, everyone loved that feature. Everyone. Alright, let's get right into this. Starting with the easy ones that we don't really need to explain. The actual Pokemon in Smash, which includes Pichu, Pikachu, Mewtwo, Greninja, Lucario, Jigglypuff, Incineroar, Squirtle, Ivysaur, and Charizard. Chorizo. They, obviously, are the types that they are. Duh. Now let's go down the line. So both Mario and Luigi make sense as fire normal, or normal fire. I mean, come on, they shoot fire out of their hands quite regularly in Smash. Interestingly, Mario does have a water move, but Pokemon still have moves outside of their types all the time.
So don't be stupid in the comments. Oh, Mario should be water type because he's got a water move.
But besides the frequent fire powers, Mario and Luigi are just two normal dudes. Strong, but still kind of out of shape, so not really fighting type. Next is Donkey Kong. Ground fighting, for sure. I mean, what else perfectly fits a giant lowland gorilla that loves to punch? Honestly, I'm really surprised that they don't have a gorilla Pokemon that's ground fighting. They're really missing an opportunity for a DK tie-in, Game Freak. Ha! Link, as in all three, we actually had a bit of trouble figuring out. But we settled on Steel Fairy. I mean, they have steel courage! Haha! Also a sword and a shield. The fairy part then comes from the fact that they all have fairies, look like elves, and are magic. So, pretty much fairy. Samus, I feel, works best as a steel electric type, along with Rob and Mega Man. All of these characters are made of metal and run off of electricity, primarily, or have energy-based attacks. Samus and Mega Man would be pretty versatile Pokemon, as they can learn moves of almost every type it seems. Dark Samus, however, would be either Dark Electric or Dark Bug. I couldn't really pick. I mean, if she really is just an evil clone of Samus, then she would be Dark Electric, but Dark Samus is more than just Samus as an evil creature that took the appearance of Samus and all that. Plus, Metroids are similar to bugs in that they grow from larvae and are somewhat bug-like in appearance and behavior, at least in the early stages. And I mean, nobody else in Smash could be bug-type, and it's a pretty important type to have in your game. Gotta have someone. Next is Yoshi, the lovable dinosaur, and in my heart I would say Dragon Fairy, as he's a magical lizard, but thinking more realistically, dinosaur? Most, not all, but most dinosaurs in the Pokemon universe tend to be rock type. So, Rock Dragon. Plus, being a rock dragon would make Yoshi similar to Tyrantum, a Pokemon that is very similar looking to Yoshi, if you squint. Kirby, you know, the creature with infinite power, is pink. And we all know what that means. Fairy. It means fairy. And what do fairies love to be? Normal, usually. So, normal fairy, just like Jigglypuff. Really, Kirby would have an ability that changes its type depending on who he eats. At least, that would change the normal typing. But Fairy could still stay. Falco is fast and relies on technology to continue his missions. Not to mention, he's a bird. So he would be flying. And wait for it! Maybe electric. Though perhaps not electric? They themselves, referring to Falco and Fox, don't have much to do with electric themselves. They just use electricity. It's like how Golduck has plenty of psychic abilities but isn't psychic type. And then what about Fox, specifically? Normal electric? Normal fire? Granted, most electric Pokemon are fuzzy mammals that are fast, so I guess electric works. Next is Ness, who, let's be honest, is pretty much just a kid with psychic powers. Him and Lucas both use PK powers, which are essentially powers provided by their psychokinetic abilities, landing them firmly alongside Mewtwo in the purely psychic type category. Then we got good old Captain Falcon, one of my more fond characters who is in desperate need of a new game. But with his extreme movements and power, he would definitely land himself in fighting. But let's not forget about all the fire he has at his disposal, so firefighting for sure. Other characters that would be firefighting might include Ken, the Echo of Ryu, because while Ryu uses the power of Ki, which is like fighting spirit, Ken uses the heat of his passion to fuel his flaming fighting techniques. Though, just fighting would work for him also. Either or. Now Peach, along with Daisy, would be fairy normal. You know, like Kirby. Again, Peach is pink, a dead giveaway there. But they also both are just kind of normal human royalty. Nothing all that special. Though they do have magical heart and flower powers. And rainbows. Very fairy-like abilities there. Up next is the Tyrant King Bowser, who is very easy to guess the typing of. That's right, it's Dragon Fire. I mean, he's a large reptile with the ability to breathe fire. He's got dragony darkness magic powers, like dragons, and he can't fly. So it's not flying type like the non-dragon Charizard. But there's lots of fire. So, Dragon Fire. Easy. Not as easy as Ice Climbers, though. Pure Ice type. Sheik would be Dark Fairy along with Bayonetta, though for entirely different reasons. After all, Sheik is a ninja who loves to work in the shadows, and that's very different of a reasoning than the monstrous, demon-summoning Umbral Witch. And again, they are also both fairy type, but for similarly different reasons. One being a force of good against darkness, along with being a Hylian elf, and the other being an Umbra Witch born of forbidden love between a Lumen Sage and an Umbra Witch, the powers of holy and unholy in perfect harmony. Zelda's next, and I'd say pure fairy, along with Palutena and maybe Pit. Zelda, being essentially a goddess reincarnated, is the embodiment of light and fey creatures, with Palutena literally being the same thing, but the real deal, actually a goddess. Pit, then, is the champion of Palutena, and I know that a lot of you would say he's flying type, but he technically can't fly. It's Palutena that grants him the ability to fly. Though perhaps having feathery wings is enough to be flying type. I mean, there's other flying type Pokemon that can't fly. So, maybe perhaps Pit would have a sky form where he gains the flying type, and that just happens to be when he has Palutena's power attached to him. Next up is Dr. Mario. In Smash, we see that he has, instead of a fire F smash, he has an electrical one. Perhaps like a defibrillator. Or it could also just be magic. It's kind of a stretch. But his typing would most likely just end up as normal. Maybe normal poison, as he prescribes you the wrong medicine. Marth and Lucina are warriors with magical blades, and it seems fit to put them in fighting steel type. Put them right next to Lucario. Everybody's blue. Other characters that would be fighting steel are Ike, Mii Sword Fighter, and Chrom. Ganondorf? Oh boy, I wonder what he could be. Dark. Not much to say. While the other two Legend of Zelda characters were fairy, Ganon is much more evil, and along with not being a Hylian or elf, cements him into not being fairy either. Other solely dark type fighters would include Dark Pit. Whoa! Who would have guessed that? The dark evil clone thing of a fighter is dark type. But he still can't fly, so he's not flying type, normally. Maybe he gets it. Roy, much like the other Fire Emblem characters, would be steel, but he would be fire instead of just fighting. Now wait just a moment, because Ike was steel fighting, but he's got a fire move. And yes, but while he does have a fire move, it's just one, whereas Roy has some sort of fire effect or flare on almost all of his moves. He's hitting you with a flaming sword, steel fire. Mr. Game & Watch is an interesting character, but besides being 2D, he's just a normal dude doing normal things, like being a chef or a lion tamer. You know, normal stuff. Meta Knight being an incredible swordsman, you can already kind of see the trend we've got of putting them in the steel type. And hey, steel needs more Pokemon. However, unlike the other sword fighters, Meta Knight is actually able to fly, and uses his wings all the time. A key trait of flying type Pokemon. So it only makes sense that he's steel flying. Though Dark could also work in place of flying? Either way, Meta Knight learns moves from all three. Zero Suit Samus is essentially armorless Samus, and so she would fall into the electric category, but not steel because there's no armor. And her pistol is like a Electro Whip, and a Zappy Zap. Energy Blasts. All over the place. So she's definitely electric. And she's well versed in hand-to-hand combat in this form, so we might as well toss her into the fighting category. Come to think of it, I think Mii Gunner would also work in electric fighting, as there's not a lot of armor on Mii Gunner, at least not by default. And energy blasts and pretty decent at close quarters combat. Wario? Oh, Wario. Where to put Wario? Well, he's mostly a normal person, minus the whole disgustingly large head. But he's also all about bad breath and farts, so the poison typing would suit him well. I mean, Stunky is poisoned because it farts. Why can't Wario be poisoned because he farts? Snake is up next, and he's pretty easy. He's stealthy, so Dark comes to mind. He's also strong and knows a good deal of hand-to-hand, so fighting. But he also has guns and uses them a lot, so I want to say Steel. And thankfully this is Solid Snake, because if this was Liquid Snake, we could just throw in the water type too. But it really boils down to how I feel at the moment, and at the moment, I'm thinking he doesn't actually use his regular guns in Smash at all. So let's make him Dark Fighting. You know what Pokemon needs more of? Yeah, that's right. Non-winged flying types. And guess what Diddy Kong is? Normal flying. Hold on, let me explain. You see, he isn't all that strong like DK, and he isn't really all that good at fighting either. He just sort of flails around like a monkey. Man, can he leap! And he's even got a jetpack! Are you telling me that if a Pokemon had a jetpack, it wouldn't be able to know the move Fly? Others in the flying normal category include Duck Hunt Dog, as it's just a dog. But there's a duck. It makes him fly around. Also Dedede. I mean, he's a penguin, sure, so he maybe shouldn't be flying, but that's the joke. Dedede's silly. And Pokemon just loves using non-joke jokes like that. Plus, he can sort of fly by inflating. Sort of. He's a bird. He'll know some flying moves, like Wing Attack and Peck. I don't think he does any of those in Smash, but you know. So Sonic's next. Where do we even begin? What type is truly fast enough to be Sonic? Fast rodent Pokemon tend to be electric, but Sonic has no electric traits. So, flying? Fairy? Bug? Well, other than speed, which isn't even classically a type, Sonic is just kinda a hedgehog. Well, I mean, he's got a lot of fan art on the internet that implies fairy, if you know what I mean. Ground. Possibly even normal ground. I mean, he's a little guy that can't really fly, plus hedgehogs are low to the ground, and they dig a bunch and such. And being able to run as fast as he does, he's touching the ground a bunch. He covers a lot of ground with his speed. Ha! He's easily one of the fastest ground types there is. So Sonic's done. Next would be, gosh, why are there so many characters? I was thinking this video was going to be a cute time filler episode that we just make real fast and put out there because we need filler. YouTube algorithms are going to kill us if we don't. This is just turning into a massive epic. I'm just adding to it with his exposition. Right, so Olimar is next, and what can I say besides he's a normal little dude? Now his Pikmin, on the other hand, they are all sorts of different. Look at the red Pikmin. Fire grass, easy. And the other follow suit. Yellow is electric grass, blue is water grass. Fairy Pikmin, well, it's in the name. White is where we get a little off balance, as they could be grass ground, or ground poison, or grass poison. Let's just go with that one. Keep them all grass poison. Then we get to purple, who are just fat and strong. That's all, nothing really special about them. So, grass. Maybe grass normal. And if you had to program them as like a whole one entity with only two types, normal grass. And now while we're on the normalness of Olimar, we should go ahead and do the rest of the normals. Because here we have Villager and Isobel. Both just kind of normal people. One's a dog. And they just got... I don't get why they're here. They're kind of just up in this monster mash of mega franchise characters that are all wanting to kill each other. I love him so much. Pac-Man also finds himself in this category. I mean, what's he gonna do? Jump? Wii Fit Trainer is a trainer, but she isn't a Pokemon trainer. But I mean, she could be. But while she's a trainer and super fit, she's no Ryu. Okay? So we are talking fighting type for sure, but she's a lot less fighting and more fitness. So to tone down the fighting, I'd put her into normal fighting. if that even could exist. Rosalina and Luma are fairy because, well, duh, she's a magical space queen. But she's also from space, and Pokemon really likes to make anything from space psychic. For reasons I cover in this video here. So fairy psychic. Final answer. Plus she can float, do crazy universe-ending stuff, and that's some pretty ridiculous, crazy psychic power things going on. Shulk. Oh, Shulk. Oh, Shulk. Is psychic steel. He's got precognition and a sword that's pretty cool. So, steel psychic. Though, steel could be replaced with normal or fairy. The Monado is a pretty magical and energy-based sword. It's magic. It's crazy. Next is Bowser Jr. At first you'd assume he'd be Fire Dragon like his dad, but he's got his clown cart as his main body in Smash, plus it gives a decent amount of super armor. You know what else has a lot of armor? Steel. Yeah, that's right. Bowser Jr., Steel Dragon, because why not? While he can breathe fire, his attacks aren't all that fiery. But his main body, meaning him, sure is dragony like his dad's for sure, because it's just a smaller that. So he's a little dragon. I know he's a turtle, but I mean, there's turtle Pokemon that are dragons also. Let's go ahead and make this crazy list even crazier. You know who's crazy? King K. Rool and his insane abilities. And let's just say he also fits perfectly into the dragon steel typing. I mean, he's got armor for a gut that's totally harder than steel. Plus, I mean, he's a massive lizard and a villain. And that just screams dragon to me. Then we have Cloud. He's a tricky one. But if you all remember from my Steel-type Pokemon Explained video, Cobalion, who is one of the Swords of Justice, is Steel-type because of his strong, cool collection, his steely resolve, his heart of steel. You get the picture. Also, swords are made of metal. And boy, oh boy, does Cloud got the sword! And you know who else could just be steel? Simon and Richter. Both have steely hearts against darkness, along with really cool metal whips. Next we have Corrin, who is actually pretty interesting and is relatively easy to put into a typing. Dragon, as Corrin is in fact a dragon, and Water, because Corrin is in fact a water dragon, specifically. I mean, it's like they knew we were gonna make this video. Thanks, Nintendo. Getting close to the end now, we see Inkling. So in Smash, the way that they work is interesting. The ink that they spray almost acts as if it's a poison or an acid. They can also turn into goo themselves, so they could realistically be poison type, or possibly water type, I so thought at first. But then I remembered that they die in the water, so I guess it's a no-go on that. I'm guessing just poison then, as they are all icky and sticky. Nextly, we get to Ridley. I mean, first off, he's a dragon, and that's totally canon. And the next thing is that he's really, 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 really mean. I mean, this guy kills parents and doesn't afraid of anything. He's just murder, 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 murder. Ha ha. Gonna go chase down Samus specifically to bug her. Ha. Mean. For sure he would be dark. He alone would be dragon dark, as he's just that cool. And, well, that's it, isn't it? Oh, wait, piranha plant! I mean grass for sure. And then I guess, depending on what color it is, would change its type. I mean, it could be fire with its base red, but if it's blue, it can shoot ice. If it's purple, it shoots poison. It's almost like Olimar, it really just depends. Color swap to change its type? That'd be cool. Or maybe just... it's just grass. And it uses all sorts of moves of other types. So how about that game balancing? Would adding this type mechanic to everyone be a good idea? I don't even have to organize it all to tell you that no. No, it would not. Maybe it would be a fun, gimmicky mode, a sort of special Smash. But heavens no, it should not be a main part of the game. What was Sakurai thinking with Pokemon Trainer in Brawl? He gets disgusting. Hey, hope you liked this filler video. Why not check out some of the really good stuff that we make? And until next time, please remember to never stop using your noggin.